Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Hey, get quiet, damn it. Whew. Thank you very much for everybody that came out tonight to our farewell to the final issue of the Swingin' Velveeta Lounge. I'd like to introduce our MC for the evening. I'm kind of partial to this woman, the effervescent, Nan. All right, Fram, come on.
Hey, everybody. I'm cool. Hey, we have any freeloaders in the house? We got some big... Not in the promotion? Okay. Hey, thanks for coming to Sean. This is the Real Me Show, by the way, and all of the 99X employees know what I'm talking about. The Me Show! I want to thank all of our label friends who came in from out of town and our family at 99X. Sean and I have been best friends. He's been like my brother for the last 11 years. And we're not going to make this like the last day that he was on the air. His final words were, I was 99X. Sean, you will always be 99X. But we asked a few select people tonight to say a few words, people that Sean has worked with. Steve Craig for the last 20 years. Brian Phillips, Nan Fisher, who will represent the label side of things tonight. So let's just kick things off. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Craig, middays at 99X.
Thank you. I have a light source right here, which would be real nice. Ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, we are here tonight to say a few words and toast to a great friend of all of ours. That's Shotgun George Prochaska here. Sean, I should say. And, his mom still calls him that, by the way. Shotgun. Hey, Shotgun, how are you? I've known Shotgun George here for about 21 years. Very long history, and it's been a long history filled with intrigue, suspense, sex, lies, cassette tapes. Mostly Sean's story, though, is a story of mafia ties, how it all kind of started. Homosexuality, wild sex, 70s sitcoms, if you can believe this. Power, corruption, pyramid schemes. Yeah, don't you wince at me. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Greed. I met Sean in 1979. 1979, that's during my troubled years when I moved to Fresno. And my first gig at this radio station was recarding all the music that he and his minions at the other station across town decided to bulk erase by putting this magnet thing outside the building where our music rack was. So every song we played went... You see, because during this time, this type of behavior came about during the time he was involved in the mafia ties that he had. Sean met this girl named Liz. Liz happened to be the daughter of John Gotti or Sam Giancani or something like that. Anyway, so he falls in love. And so the family, the quote family, gives the blessings to Sean, to marry this lovely girl. What does Sean do? In the face of the mob, he elopes with the girl. We're talking big Italian weddings that he should have been part of, but no, he decides to elope. Not wise, guy. So, thank you very much. There we go. Right, So anyway, I was working at the station there, and Sean was across town, and I guess they wanted to hire me for some unknown reason. So Liz calls me up on the request line and says, have you ever heard of this Sean Demery guy? Trying to feel out if I knew the competition or anything. So I said, Sean Demery guy, he's gay. He's the gay guy over at the station. If you heard old tapes of him, it's like, hi, I'm waving. Hi, I'm waving. I got my Ziggy calendar right here. Everybody thought he was gay. So he said he was married to this girl in the mafia. We're going, yeah, right, yeah, sure, you're just gay. So.
Wait, are you not gay?
So anyway, he's still involved with this girl. The family accepts him, so they're married now. So what does he do? What does he do? He divorces the girl. You don't divorce a mafia chick. So he's always looking over his shoulder now for the rest of his life. So Sean and I began a pretty good working relationship there, and he gets all the choice gigs, and I pretty much follow him about 6 months later. That's usually how it all worked out. We were in Fresno. We had a lot of fun. Fresno. Mm-hmm. We had a PD that was a crackhead. We had this really, really horrible, horrible morning guy. I think his name was Rick Stacy. And, very creative and talented night jock. We had a talking dog in the afternoon, and we had this gay midday guy, which everybody knew. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Dexter, Melissa, Jimmy. So anyway, as the station progressed, we're getting our ass kicked in Fresno. And Sean decides to bug out, so he gets the first big gig of his life, and that's, of course, San Antonio, Texas, the real big gig. That's where he meets wife number 2. That was a very short-lived situation. That was Loretta. Oh, yes, she did. So anyway, that didn't last long. This girl named Loretta, there was another person vying for Loretta's affections. That would have been, that was Gabe Kaplan. He lost his second wife to Mr. Cotter. Gabe Kaplan stole his second wife. So we all moved on. I was in Provo, Utah working. All of a sudden, I'm walking down the hallway. Here comes Sean Demery in Provo, Utah, of all places. Walking down the hallway. I said, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm starting a radio station." So we start this wonderful radio station in Salt Lake called Color Radio. What a concept! Color Radio, Color 95, Color Radio. Sean sits down, he said, "Okay, here's the idea. We get all these bright colors, we can play a lot of Dan Fogelberg and Barry Manilow, and we're going to play Barbra Streisand, and we'll get bumper stickers with these little rainbows on them. You see? He's gay!"
All coming together.
We'll finally prove that theory wrong, though. We all thought up until this point. Sean was living in the same apartment complex I was up in Cedar Crest in Provo, Utah. He was above me, I was below. Now Sean actually pretty much is a pretty romantic guy. He spent his time bringing home research girls from the radio station. And upstairs, being romantic, he's very, very loud, put it that way. He's a very loud guy. 11 o'clock rolls around, you don't hear the girl, you just hear Sean. But no girl. He'd hear the broom up against the ceiling.
That wasn't a broom.
Sean really knows how to deal with women, though. Now, I was engaged to be married at the time, so one day, this girl that I was going to marry...
You're not gay?
No, I'm not. So, I have to prove this now. I have to prove this. This girl breaks up with me, gives back the ring. I'm devastated. I'm crying my eyes out. I ran down the whole state trying to find this girl, to find out what happened. I go to my best friend, Sean. I finally make it back to the station. I say, Sean, she left me. She broke up. I'm crying. What am I going to do? My life is over. Sean turns to me like the best friend he is. He goes, "Steve, you're fired." Yeah, Sean fired me twice. Thank you very much. So he pulls out, and he pulls the great thing. As the big brother he is, he pulls this thing like, "He made me do it," and points to the general manager, who he's probably going to end up working with, but that's okay.
If only he had the
So it was in Utah where Sean met his 5th or 6th wife, or I'm not sure what number it was. And we all know and love Jennifer. Jennifer, of course, followed. Hey! His true boss, of course. See, Jennifer followed me, following Sean, to Southern California, and then, of course, here to Atlanta. Jennifer, by the way, is very, very perceptive, because she fell in love with Sean not so much for his warm-heartedness and for his tenderness, his caring of others, his wit. She saw a guy who could get her lots of folk art. Lots and lots of folk art. Big piece of tin with crayon scribblings on it. Yeah, it's gonna make us some money. Windmill made out of toothbrushes. Yeah, some freak with a Sharpie. So that's all. Yeah, great. Sean actually once offered the guy across the street $5,000 for his trash can that had his house number painted on it. It was gonna be worth a lot of money. Great plan. So, kind of go along with that, I always ask Sean for financial advice. So I said, Sean, what can I do to make a little money for the future? He says, okay, I got this great thing. Sean says, you give me $500, trust me now, I'll keep half of it, I'll give the other half to your boss, and then you get 5 friends to pay you $500, and boom, you're rich. That sounds like a pyramid scheme. I want my $500 back. See, pyramid schemes, folk art, now high-tech investments, high-tech stuff. Like that big Country Star Cafe stock you bought. That was a stock split. Boy, they split, didn't they? Sean's biggest investment, though, came with this waterless car wash that was really, that worked beautifully. That was amazing. Now that's really the only bad financial mire that Sean's ever been involved in, because he really is the only DJ in radio history to ever have a salary cap. He hasn't had a raise in 8 years. I don't know what kind of deal that he hasn't had any more money. That's okay, so he negotiates with Mark Raniere, since he can't get any more money.
Sean, fire him again.
Sean gets a contract with a total 12 weeks vacation, 12 weeks of vacation, and 85 sick days, and don't you know he uses every damn one of them?
Yeah.
Basically, it all has come around. All the golden stuff that Sean has been involved in has been because he obviously sold his soul to Satan. Should have opted for that hair contact. That clause there would have helped out. And now he's doomed to do nothing more than build furniture in order to perpetuate that fortune that will befall you in the future. Have to keep making furniture. If the piece of furniture doesn't make it, hey, it's folk art. Since you have to keep building things, you'll never get out of this town anyway. You'll never make it to where you want to go. So you might as well ask for your job back. Because right now we all miss you. Very, very much. Already. Stand up here. Thanks for laughing at these. These are points in Sean's history that have meant something to me, have made us very, very close. We're like brothers. You are my best friend. You always have been. I do miss you already. All the people in here, you've opened a lot of doors for, including me. We will never forget that. And if it were not for you, I would not be where I am. And I appreciate that more than you know. I love you like a brother. Ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses, if you would, to Mr. Sean Demery. Leslie?
Okay, enough about Sean. Happy birthday to Chris Siciliano and Keith Cunningham tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Phillips.
Thank you. Hey, Sean. I don't have quite as much history with Sean as Steve Crank does, and I think you can all be thankful for that. I think I'm really pleased as we go off into the adult business world here. Sean is dressed as an adult tonight. And I spent about 6 years working with a man who came to work every day with huge, sort of corrective orthopedic shoes, big sort of squared off dumb kid shorts, corduroy shorts came with hair, little Pinky and the Brain shirt, and a hat, always an Oscar the Grouch hat. Sean, do you remember what you told me about the Oscar the Grouch hat? What's your rule?
You caught me off guard.
You said chicks love it when you wear an Oscar the Grouch hat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Is that true, or I didn't really? They love it when you swing by the house in a big wheel to pick them up too. I think that was one of the many things I learned from you. I also learned that I really feel badly for the record people who are here tonight, because it is the end of an era at 99X. And I think of Sean, and I think of Leslie, and I think of my time at 99X. And what we're really losing with Sean leaving is one of the great the great good cop, bad cop teams in the radio industry. How many times on Monday did you, who work in local promotion, how many people had to call and say on Monday, you know, I've been by 99X, I don't know. Leslie really likes it. But everybody say it with me, but Sean hates it! But I think we're going to be okay, because we're flying Brian over to see the band in Berlin, and we'll have spins in a couple of weeks. And I would leave it to them to work out. I got a plane to catch. And somehow the numbers held. I think that. Also, I just want to check, because I know we got a bunch of Warner Brothers people in the house tonight. Is Peter Buck here to say goodbye to Sean? Can I tell the story of the? Yeah, okay. One day, I came back. I got back in town. I don't know what. Yeah, from Berlin. I think Cat Collins and I went to Ecuador to see Jesus Jones or something. I got back, and I walked in the. Whoa! I walked in the door of 99X, and I got from Leslie the Lebanese death stare. It's this. Something bad happened. Sean talked to REM, and there's a big problem. So, what could have happened? I went back and talked to Sean. I said, Sean, I got Bertus calling me from Athens. I got Warner Brothers on the phone. Who did you talk to in REM? Who was on the air? And I knew that we had a problem when Sean said, it was one of the ones that wasn't Stipe. I said, well, you know, okay, that narrows it down a little bit. I mean, it worked out really well. We didn't even get a telegram from Peter Buck, who I'm sure sends his best wishes. You know, they can put the whole band back together, all four of them now, but you're out of the market. So, somebody go out in the cornfield and find Bill Berry and let him know it's safe to come back because Sean is gone. In all seriousness, Sean, I think that the miracle of working with you has been that to see a man with a 10-second attention span give us 11 brilliant years at 99X. That's an amazing thing. Power 99 before that. And remember that you can always come back to radio in Atlanta. Because Star 94 will need somebody to set up their remotes at American Pie. You can handle Steve and Vicky's Minky, you know? And I also think that the sad occasion tonight is that we're losing, you know, from a programmer standpoint, I think we're losing a genius disc jockey to the .com world. If that's true. Yep. We haven't really talked about that, but because I think the world doesn't need, you know, who needs a, you know what we really need? We need some more .com billionaires, some more jackass.com billionaires. So welcome to the club, buddy. We will miss you at radio. Thank you for, I know I speak for Leslie and for Mark Rainier and Rick McDonald and all the Susquehanna people who are here and everybody from 99X who worked with Sean when I say that in the time you were with us, you gave us a million great ideas. It was always great to watch you explain them to us in that sort of Julie Andrews hand-fluttering sort of, I got an idea. I'll miss that.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
We had a million great ideas from you, and we had a million laughs, and that's really made it all worth it. Congratulations, and good luck with whatever you do. We love you.
Last, certainly not least, Nan Fisher with Capricorn Records.
Not familiar with the microphone. Number one, I apologize to the entire Atlanta record community for what I'm about to say. Don't hold it against me. All right, Sean, turn like 45 degrees to your left, please. Thank you. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Okay, so for the first 2 years I went into 99X, you know what I saw? This angle, right here, him doing Selector, and me going, well, what about Widespread Panic? What the fuck happened? What's wrong with that? And he just kind of kept turning and turning and turning and turning. And you know I'm fucking right. Yeah. And come here. It's very nice to see your face. Yeah. Nice to see yours. Sadly, I love this man. I don't know why. And for the Atlanta record community again, how many people have been stood up by this man who is sitting right here? We're gonna have lunch with Sean, dinner with Sean. You go to the restaurant and you wait, you call him, you wait. He must have forgot. My life in Atlanta, thank you very much. Let's see here. And Jennifer, wherever you are, you don't return phone calls either. Thank you. And just a couple of announcements. Number one, he can't get your records added anymore. That's number one. And number two, for you national people, and I know, hi Jetson, hi Matt, how y'all doing? Do we not have to go to Gavin now? Are we done here, do you think? That would be very nice. Shush, I know you will. And I did see Will Pendarvis at K-Rock in New York the other day, and I gave Will my card, and I said, you know, if you want to, like, inject something about Sean, please call me. I'm still waiting, and that's really okay. And he'll never talk to me again, but he's a .com guy now, so I really, professionally I could give a fuck, but he is still a dear friend. I still know where he lives. If he's fucked any of you over, pay me and I'll tell you where he lives. I love him. I heard his voice when he got in the car tonight, and it was like, hey Nan, how you doing? Whatever. And I almost started to cry, because this man has been a part of my life, not just being a record guy or a radio guy, but I heard that voice for the first time in about 3 weeks, and I nearly started to cry. I love him, I miss him, and this is a pleasure and a treat. Thanks for having me do this. I love you, Sean. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Keppel! Yes!
That's Mary Schumann-ist to you.
I get so fucked up being an asshole.
We have one special guest we'd like to bring up. Anyone else want to come up and say anything before we bring up Josh Joplin? Anyone else?
Like the guy. Sean!
I know, I mean...
Sean!
Is Josh here? Josh Joplin?
He's coming.
Sean, we had to bring your favorite artist in the entire world.
Peter Buck.
Josh, yeah, Peter Buck. Josh, thanks for being here. This is Josh Joplin. You'll be hearing him very soon. By the way, he's unsigned. The Josh Joplin Band. Josh Joplin.
Say something, Sean. Say something, man.
I should say that I don't think anybody in this room is going to miss Sean more than Josh Joplin Band. I don't know what we're going to do with our record sales now. But anyhow, it is what it is. So I'm gonna sing you a song. Sean has been incredibly supportive, not only local music, but of our music, and it means a great deal. And what you guys do all comes down to 3 a.m. staying up late and trying to get that one word in that you know you can have in you, and that one chord and that one verse, and it means a tremendous amount to me that you support that so much. So life continues. Matter does not disappear. You are not miss you. In this, the universal sphere, so turn off the lights. That night embrace and take you in, sleep within its wisdom man. Dreams are not lost, they merely fall beneath the ashes of what is left to the soul, from where it starts to where it catches. And this is your time until it passes. Oh, and it passes. And you must remember me, a plea from one who must be kept like some vacant thoughts. We fear to find, we can't forget, and you have become the instant you believe you have memories are aftermath. And dreams are not lost, they merely fall beneath the ashes of what is left to the soul, from where it starts to where it catches. And this is our time until it passes. Dreams are not lost, they merely fall beneath the ashes. What is left to the soul, from where it starts to where it catches. And this is our time until it passes. Oh, and this is your time until it passes. And this is your time until it passes.
I don't have any long speech to throw out here, but you rock. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight and celebrating the next level for Sean Demery. And I just want to say thanks for everything you've done for Atlanta and for radio. You guys put your hands together for Sean Demery. Please.
Yeah, don't forget to sign the guest book. I would really like to have all your signatures. Jennifer, where is it? Do you know? Lanny, where is it? It's out there somewhere. Is that it right there? Great. I would love to get all your signatures. I really don't have much more to say. You guys absolutely rule. You've made my life so wonderful. I really appreciate it. I'm going to cry. Thanks. Thanks for coming out.
All right, the party continues, so drink up and socialize and get your records added and all that bullshit, you know? I've got a couple of bands that need signing as well, so.
Drink for Atlantic. You too.